might have just opened the door to another dimension or parallel universe where things in your deepest dreams could be real. You're listening to Sunday's Night Dreams, where time and space and reality might not really exist.
You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the...
Man was slight tad slow, so something I don't know.
All right, this is Rich.
This is Mike.
This is Ken.
And together we are
Manwich.
And today's episode will be about
aliens.
Oh my God.
Are they real?
They could be.
Or that's just an imagination?
You could be one. I don't think it's imagination.
Or don't you just believe it?
Let me ask you, Ken, have you ever
Been
encountered
blood
any what?
Blood
I
tested.
meet aliens every day.
Yeah.
Oh. I got the wrong aliens here.
Which ones are you talking about?
I'm talking about border aliens.
Illegal?
Let's go. No.
Hey,
I got the wrong one. But here we go. And this is real.
Okay.
Take it away, bitch.
fuck, I asked you. Here, I'll tell you what. I will.
Aliens are real. They really are.
But hold on, I'm gonna look at it. The way I look at it is, have you ever heard of Phil Schneider? No. So Phil Schneider, he used to develop he worked in construction underground, and he had a hand in developing what they call DUMBs, which is an acronym for deep underground military bases.
I heard something similar to that.
Well, with Phil Schneider, later on in life, he came out exposing this information that extraterrestrials were actually, that there were the grays, as he put it, the ones that he encountered, had an alliance with the U.S. military, and there was an altercation. I think it's called the Dulce Wars, and what happened is he was split. The way he words it is he was split wide open like you would gut a fish. There was an attack underground. His story is that they were sending equipment for a hole that they had, or a tunnel they had just bore, and the equipment would come back destroyed. Listen, the equipment would come back destroyed. So they sent Phil Schneider with a Green Beret. And what happens? Phil Schneider says that he encountered a gray alien. You laugh about you like it's not real. What's up? Is it the tinfoil hat? Huh? I scared you, dude. Don't be fucking up, dude. If this is the case, you cannot get jacked up. You can't get jacked.
Aliens do got big eyes.
He looked right at me. I looked at
I'm an alien, Mike.
Anyhow, Phil Schneider. Stop.
Okay.
So Phil Schneider, though, I want to believe Phil Schneider's testimony, and then of course, you've got countless. You have countless. It's not really that funny. All right. There's countless, well, okay. Fire in the Sky with Travis.
Oh, I looked at that movie.
I forgot. I can't remember the guy's whole name, but Travis something. And I watched that movie when I was a kid, and I think that's called Encounters of a Fourth Kind, which is when you're abducted.
Steven Spielberg?
No, that's the third.
Oh.
You're gonna fucking ruin this podcast episode. You know that, right? Out of all the effort. Yeah, look how long it took you to make that tinfoil hat. Hey,
yeah, but yeah, about Snyder, yeah.
Well, okay,
I know Snyder. I know him. He got that big orange pumpkin trucks and that guy.
dude, you guys are a couple of fucking dickheads, man. I just want you to know that.
What?
Oh, dude, you're not being serious.
Raw talk here.
You know, I'm gonna end up doing. I'm gonna play videos. You're gonna listen to videos.
No,
and you're like children.
I got it. I got it.
You guys,
You're right. You
you
talked
told-
about Snyder
listen,
Underground.
Say, okay, but
I heard everything you said.
all right.
You said Snyder Underground, and you bring these equipment down there, and yeah, okay.
The aliens could be in the sky just like in that movie.
Yeah.
But you didn't see that movie.
But
No,
Fire in the
I see.
Sky,
That was pretty
I
good.
think that was better one.
You think it's
really.
out there? It's actually an alien.
Dude, if you heard Phil Snyder's testimony, I don't know if you would not say that. Now, I will say another thing too about this, and that is Bob Lazar. You ever heard of Bob Lazar?
No, I didn't hear
See,
you.
where the fuck you been at? On the moon, alien, you UFO, you fucking Moonanite. Listen, okay, listen. Bob Lazar swore up and down that he worked at Area 51 and he had a hand in engineering
I heard about
of flying saucers. All right. Now recently there was a documentary that came out about Bob Lazar again, but he's been out since the late 80s, early 90s, in which he says that he saw 9 flying saucers. Okay. One of which he was able to tamper with, but of course they didn't have much of any success. He the way he explained it is like if you had something from today and I think it's something that like of a nuclear perspective, and people from the 1700s, if they were to look at it and they started to dissect it, take it apart, he was like, well, because of the radiation, people would start to just fall down and die, and then other people would come in and look at these dead bodies and wonder what's wrong with them, and then they too would die, and it'd just be like a domino effect. It's like you're looking at something that's far greater than your comprehension, as far as how it was manufactured and the manner in which to operate it. I want to believe Bob Lazar's testimony too. There's some that discredit Bob Lazar, and they'll say, well, because there's testimony that's come out, and I'm not saying it's credible, but supposedly only Bob Lazar checked people's tags at Area 51. Like he was like a doorman, so to speak, right? But I don't believe that. And he's very smart. I've watched the documentary about Bob Lazar, that recent one that just came out. When I say just came out too, I mean, really, did it just go? It came out like probably 2 years ago, but relatively new. And he's no dummy. Matter of fact, before he says he worked for Area 51, there's a clipping of him where he took a turbine engine and connected to his vehicle. He was driving around a fucking car with a turbine engine as a propulsion system, and that someone that he had met years prior caught wind of it, and that's pretty much was like the driving force that brought him on board as a scientific mind in Area 51. So, okay, as far as like Bob Lazar, Phil Snyder, the guy from Fire in the Sky, Travis Walker, that's his name, Travis Walker. And then you got, like, for instance, that Skinwalker Ranch shit, man. I know we're talking about aliens, but
that's scary.
Dude, extraterrestrials, flying saucers, which now they call them unidentified area phenomenon, right? Right. And you got some, they're like, oh, wait, that's a conspiracy. What they really did, because they're trying to cover up for the fact that these are unidentified flying objects. So instead of saying UFOs, they're gonna say U.F.As. Is that what I said? Unidentified flying area, some shit. They're gonna change acronyms. But you know what? That does not have that doesn't matter. People, I mean, look, whether you called it a fucking pile of shit in the sky, okay, the people are still gonna say, you know what? They're gonna be like alien, right?
Aliens.
So my take, now I'll tell you what, I will say that I don't believe that they're extraterrestrials like others do it, like others would, and they'll say, oh, well, they're coming from like millions and billions of light years away. I look at it like a demonic deception. I really do look at
demons.
This yeah, dude, there's so, dude, I'll tell you what, man.
What makes you think they're demons?
I'm gonna fucking blow your mind away with this. Okay. And it'd be better to hear from the horse's mouth as far as other people's testimonies. There are people that have claimed that they were being abducted, right? And these extraterrestrials throughout their abductions, and this is from a variety. This isn't just like 3 or 4 people, right? This is a phenomenon that's happened. The extraterrestrials, they'll tell them that Jesus was just a man. Okay, they'll start say they'll discredit the deity of Christ. Fine, okay, that's okay. Some foreign whatever says that shit. Okay, whatever. Here's the thing, though. You have people that were traumatized by their abductions, and what did they start to do after so many times of being abducted? They began to call out in the name of Jesus. They were praying in Jesus' name for these things to go away, and they would leave, and they never bothered them again. All right. Now, what would cause an alien life form to be afraid of a name of somebody who's just somebody to them, right? How could, look, I'm not trying to make this into a church. I'm not. I'm looking at it from the lens of what's really going on and writing off shit. Like, if this doesn't make sense, okay, all right, I'm not going to accept that. This isn't going to, I'm not going to just take it at face value. And so I really, and then there's more to it. You've got, for one, if you guys would have listened to, if you guys would have been here for episode 1 when I did Roger Morneau and the occult. Now, of course, man, when he was here, man can be here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. He's with his girlfriend. It is their anniversary tonight, but the show must go on.
Happy anniversary!
It's our anniversary. The show still must go on, though.
See,
Here's the thing. I fucking hate that when I talk and then I lose train of thought. What was I saying? Because you guys are all fucking, and you're already in another galaxy. But no, what did I say though? Before I stopped, and
we're trying to figure out.
An excused absence. What happened?
Yeah,
you're fucking really stoned. All right.
I know what you said.
Okay,
You're
tell a
talking.
story about you seeing an alien.
No, I remember now. Roger Morneau.
Yeah,
Here's the thing about Roger Morneau is that if you guys have been here for episode 1, he talks about how there's this demonic deception, and so you'd have to watch it yourself. He was a 7-day Adventist, and he talks about how let's say like the powers of darkness, right? Okay, well, whatever. The thing is, though, that Satan would fool the world into believing in evolution, that that life was seeded here from a higher civilization, right? A higher life force, which is called transpermia. In other words, life was seeded here by another, a higher intelligence.
Another galaxy.
Yeah. So I look at it like, that's how, and I'll tell you what, even the Bible talks about, now look, I don't have to be a Bible beater, but, it talks about that Satan is the God of this world, deception, but also says he's the prince of the power of the air. And there's so much of this aerial phenomenon. Like, you got those that are like, where do they go? Where do these ships go when we don't see them? Well, now, of course, if they really are from another galaxy, well, it makes perfect sense. Well, they went back to their home millions of light years away. Now, there's this variety too. Now, you've got tall grays, you got short grays, you got those that they call Nordic. They're called the Pleiadians, right? And they're supposed to be tall, and they're supposed to be like European. They were like people from Norwegian, white, blonde hair, extremely tall. There's this variety. There's reptilians. But now you hear there's all this other shit that gets tied in it, because you got people that believe in Middle Earth, and they're like, oh, you got reptilians and they live under the earth and they come up and they take your children but now how it gets tied into the extraterrestrial phenomenon is that there's species that are here. They're already here. And in some cases, you ever heard of Admiral Byrd? I'm bouncing around here.
Oh,
I should play videos,
but
you ever heard of Admiral Byrd?
Antarctica.
And he talks about how that he came across this alien civilization, that there's actually warm temperatures at the north and south poles, and that the earth is hollow, and that you have these extraterrestrials that are living in the center of the earth. What makes me look at it also like from a biblical perspective is that, damn, man, where do demons live? Where do demons come from? They come from the center of the earth. You got now you got these extraterrestrials that are denying Jesus is God, denying the deity of Christ, saying that he was just a man who died. He was a good man, but he was just a man, nothing more than that. They tremble at the name of Jesus, which the Bible talks about. The demons tremble at the name of God. And again, you've got this variety that that people would look at as demons. Now, somebody, okay, a reptilian, okay, you say right away, okay, yeah, that sounds like a demon.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now you talk about the Nephilim. If you look in the Bible, it talks about that in Genesis chapter 6, that angels left their first estate, had sex with women, and there was giants in those days. Then thereafter the flood. Here's another thing about this. It talks about, there's a book, a Jewish book called the King, the King, the Cave of the Crystal Skulls, or Crystal Cave something. You gotta, so whoever's listening to this, if you've watched Trey Smith's videos, you probably have come across it one or another. It talks about how these children, these bastard children, who cannot be saved because they're not purebred humans. They're offspring, and because they're genetic offspring of both angel and man, there's no hope for salvation. Like when Jesus died, he died for the human race, not for an alien race. I've talked about, I'll tell you, I've witnessed the Christians that believe in aliens. But hold on to that thought. It talks about in this book about this cave stuff and whatever. It says that these children, these bastard children, that God put them in a dimension that's neither on earth or in hell, and that they're stripped naked, and that they have these hideous forms. And when we look at, I got shit just came in my head right now. When we look at extraterrestrials, they got these big bulbous heads, these bulbous eyes. They got these big heads, these bulbous eyes. They're really skinny. Dude, you ever heard? Actually, have you ever heard of people who've been on DMT?
Yeah, they see some kind of elves or something.
They see elves. Some people have said they seen fucking gray aliens. And they're looking at them. They're looking at them, and they're doing. They're walking like, how Michael Jackson used to do his dancing moves. Oh, wow. Like they don't notice you. Check it out. Hold on. They don't check this out. They don't notice you. They don't notice you noticing them. But once you're taking them DMTs and you're looking out your third eye, that pineal gland, and then once they notice that you can see them, then they start to interact with you. I mean, they're coming all up in your face, like, like if I like the camera. They're doing all, they're that's what they're doing, man.
That sounds kind of scary. I don't know if I want to.
Fuck no, dude. I would do it. Oh my goodness. No, never.
See elves?
No. Now I'll tell you what. Like when I watch like Joe Rogan. When I've listened to Joe Rogan's podcast, he's like, you got like, he's down with that shit, man. He believes in extraterrestrials. He believes in evolution. He believes in so much shit that, like, really, to me, like when I listen to him, I'm just like, he's going to hell. Like he don't even realize it. He's bought into the shit. Look, for one, you want to talk about, when you talk about evolution, there's no transition fossils. All right. But they're pushing this shit down people's throats. They're pushing this shit in the school system that whales first crawled on Earth and then they went into the water, or this came from there and they went to that. But there's no transitional fossils. When you watch Trey Smith, and I was putting you on to Trey Smith at one time. When you watch Trey Smith, he talks about you got millions and millions of monkey bones everywhere, but you don't have not one transitional fossil. And then what they claim to be transitional fossil, this takes away from the whole alien agenda right now, the alien conversation, but they have forged prior in years past, before science has been able to discredit falsified claims, that they would take Neanderthal bones and they would cut the nose bone off. And you know why they would do that? Why? Because with apes, what distinguishes they have no nose bones. So then they would look at it. They would take a Neanderthal bone, where the nose bone has been deliberately cut off, and say this is what they would call a transitional fossil. To me, I just, going back to the whole alien thing, I just feel like it's all bullshit. It's a lie. I also believe that I do believe that the U.S. has flying saucers, but I believe it's demonic. I believe there's a deception, and it's going to take people it's going to pull the wool under their eyes. You got people right now, they're waiting.
AI doing it?
Huh?
An artificial intelligence doing this?
Yeah, it's demonic. It's called Satan. It's called, like, my opinion. This is my opinion, right? I'm just saying, and I want you guys to have your own view. All right, don't just don't dick ride my view. I want you guys to have your own view. But I'll tell you what, I look at it as it's a demonic deception. If people, when people believe that there's extraterrestrials, when they believe in evolution, they won't believe in the Bible. They're gonna be, and I don't blame them, because I'll tell you right now, if there are aliens and there is evolution, then the Bible is a lie. Absolutely, it's a lie. And does that mean I'm clinging on to it because I don't want to let go of the fact that I could be wrong? No, dude. There's shit there's things that have happened. Like, I feel somebody that was sick, that was in a diabetic coma, that came out within a minute. Jessica's mom, she was in a diabetic coma for 2 to 3 days. That third day, people are rocking her head, opening up her eyelids, and they're like, mom, and then grandma, wake up, grandma. And then they all left, right? And it was just me and Jessica after that. When we laid our hands on that woman and we asked in the name of Jesus that God would bring her out that coma, and she came out that coma exactly then. In 1 minute, the woman rose up, her eyes were open, as if she had, if I were being dramatic, I say as if she had been Lazarus risen from the dead. No, but I'll tell you right now, she came out that coma.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know this.
Now, I'm just trying to say that is that I don't believe that dude, I look at aliens as they're demonic. It's a lot. It's like ghosts. When people believe in ghosts, for one, the Bible says to be absent from the bodies, be present with the Lord. It talks about if you're not in heaven, you're in hell. I've read these verses. I've checked this out. Now, granted, that's as far as my investigation is gone, because I have not died, right? But if people begin to believe that if you die, you all go to one good place, then what's the sense in doing good? It's like, well, fuck it, dude. Boom, fuck you, and boom, fuck it. Because I guess what? When it's all said and done, we're all gonna hang out, man. Because there's this place that where we're all gonna be happy together. It's like, well, then where's Hitler? He's in this place too, then, right? This kind of paradise? No, like I look at it like, even like this whole thing with ghosts. That, now, granted, isn't this something people will believe in ghosts? And they'll believe like in exorcisms. And if you believe in a ghost and exorcism, then you believe in demons. And then if you believe in aliens, though, well, now, fuck, dude, you believe in a lot. You believe in aliens, you believe in demons, you believe in ghosts. Okay, you could believe in aliens.
You're a sucker then?
Hold on, no, well, think of it. If you can believe in aliens and you can believe in ghosts, I can get that. But then where the fuck does demons fit in? They must be like some really bad people that died, huh? And they decide, hey, man, I'm real fucked up. Now I'm coming back, and now I'm this new label of what they call a demon. But I'm just really a real asshole once that lived. And now, I from the dead, I'm just even a bigger jerk. It's like, no, it's like, how do demons tie into all that then? It's so weird. Like, you'll have people, they'll believe in aliens, they'll believe in demons, they could believe in a heaven, they'll believe in a hell, and they'll believe in ghosts, and they'll believe in so much shit. But the things that they believe contradict themselves. And that's where I come in and I say to myself, there's got to be absolute truth. One side has to absolutely be true. And then whatever else is like two people can't be right, but yet at odds in their conversation. One has to be right, one has to be wrong. That's why it's called absolute truth. Going back to the alien stuff. Now this is what does give me, though. Because it's like, I've heard stories about how there's supposed to be bases on the moon, right? So now, okay, look at Stanley Kubrick. you know, people say, well, he helped stage the moon landing, right? But yet, supposedly after that fact, the U.S. did land on the moon, and then when they got there, there was these structures that were on the moon, and there is footage of astronauts in space, and they talk about that there's these saucers, well, there's these ships, and then the transition is cut off. So even that like fucks with my belief. But I say if you're a Christian, I've met Christians that believe in aliens. I want you guys to talk to, just check out. I've met Christians that believe in aliens, and I'll tell them, I say, man, you know, how can you believe in aliens? I told him, I said, look, check this out. I said, look, the Bible says that Jesus came and died for men because it's Adam's sin. So because of Adam's sin, we're all sinners. Okay. So I'd say to these people, I'd say, look, well, aliens need a redeemer. We need a redeemer, so they must need a redeemer too, right? But then they'll say, oh no, well, maybe they don't. They'll say, well, they don't. There's actually, they'll say two things. They'll say either they don't, right? Mm-hmm. Which that can't be, because you see, people say they're being abducted against their will. So guess what that's called? That's called kidnapping. What would kidnapping be? Kidnapping would be a sin. So if they've sinned, they need a redeemer. But then you have people that say, well, maybe like they have their own Jesus that died for their sins. But that's not what the Bible says. The Bible says that God created man a little lower than the angels, but crowned them with glory, and there's more glory from man than there is from angels. So, like when I would hear a Christian, whenever I hear Christians say they believe in aliens, I'd say to myself, you don't know what you don't know what you're talking about. Now somebody can say no, and like even you can be like, Rich, I really don't think you know what you're talking about, but I'm gonna see here because I'm really stoned right now. Just and absorb it like a sponge. But I just don't. If you're a Christian, if you really believe, let's say, in the death, burial, resurrection of Christ, and all this stuff that ties in with Christianity, you can't believe in aliens because it contradicts. It contradicts the word. Now, but going back to aliens, though, you've got all this. You've got this. Have you heard about how they talk about in Ike's presidency that he had encounters with that there supposedly there was these deals that were brokered between the Greys and the United States for technology, and the trade-off was that they could abduct people, right?
Oh wow.
But it got to the point that they were experimenting on people. This gets into the Dulce Wars and Phil Schneider, because Phil Schneider said that when they went and they discovered that base, they didn't realize that they were building a base on top of an already built base by extraterrestrials, that there was human body parts everywhere. And the way it's been described is as if they were they feed off of mankind. Dude, I've heard crazy stories about how they eat kids. They'll eat kids, like these extraterrestrials are eating kids. And but it's part of the deal, so that we have technology so we can have our infrared. That's where infrared supposedly came from. This is where like fiber optics supposedly came from. This all but then the driving mechanism of that is that Area 51, the crash site at Roswell. They talk about that crash site at Roswell. Now, I do believe that there was a crash site, but I'm gonna tell you this is something to think about. If extraterrestrials are so fucking intelligent, right? How come they're crashing their vehicles millions of light years away? How dumb can you be unless it's a Trojan horse? It's made to look like they've crashed, but really it's to set up the human race for a rope-a-dope. Get what I'm saying? Get away okay, let's say what if they're okay without thinking about like demons and all that. Look, let's just say extraterrestrials are true, right? But let's say you got malevolent and you got benevolent or whatever, right? I don't know which one's the bad ones, which are the good ones by saying that, but okay, let's say the bad aliens, right? Let's say they wanted to get a foothold on the good old human race, right? How about we crashed our ship, but we're here for peace and we want to broker deals with you. But instead of parking on the front lawn of the White House, right? We crashed. Dude, if you have developed technology that's years and years and years. For one, if you're traveling from galaxy to galaxy, star system to star system, you're pretty fucking smart, right? If you're that fucking smart, you're going to develop a ship that's going to be able to take a lightning bolt, which they assume hit that ship and cause it to crash. Or as they say, there was two ships actually that hit each other. Dude, I feel like it's all bullshit, man. I really do feel like, regardless if you look at it from as a demonic deception, I feel that this whole thing with extraterrestrials, ETs, is that it's a Trojan horse. And it really and that mankind is being reeled in. And when they talk about that Dulce War, supposedly when the government found out that they weren't just abducting men and women and children, they're supposed to like abduct them, but then send them back out. Kind of like what we do with animals. When we catch an animal, let's say in the wild, whether it's on land or in sea, we'll tag them, right? But in this case, they were re-engineer. You're doing engineering, medical engineering. Dude, there's some shit I heard about with that Dulce War stuff that like they're making humans like half human, half alien sex slaves, and they were fucking them. These aliens were fucking them, dude. That sounds so stupid for me to say that, but dude, I've heard that shit, man. Now, Phil Schneider, I've heard Phil Schneider's testimony. I've seen Phil Schneider when he's talking, giving his testimony, his fucking fingers on one hand or disable. He's got like probably like one finger on one hand. He opens up his shirt. He shows, he's like, look, this is what happened to me by this extraterrestrial. He's like, the thing went ahead and he shot it. He killed one right away because he's like, probably like in his head, like, what the fuck, And then he goes ahead and this alien takes his hand and goes over its chest, and this beam came and just hit him. And then he talks about that there's green berets and there's black berets, though, he said. And that there was black berets there and green. Anyhow, though, I think it was a green beret, though, that kind of saved him, because the Green Beret sent them back on the elevator and stayed down there and kept fighting. And he said, that guy died. That guy died saving my life. And Phil Schneider will talk about all this technology that we have. He was just like, how it came from this deal upon deal. You've heard of like the Majestic 12, haven't you? You ever heard? You guys haven't heard shit, man. So I'm gonna tell you. So the Majestic 12, you know what the Majestic 12 was originally? It was supposed to be a like, think of like a board members of a corporation. But these 12, they had say in terms of how the approach to extraterrestrials would be handled. I mean, these people had pull. If it's true, right? If it's true. And it's just like, it's in the archives of extraterrestrial folklore about the Majestic 12. Just like the two ships, there wasn't one ship, but there was two ships supposedly in Area 51. Just like Phil Schneider today. And what Phil Schneider died in the 90s, and people are still talking about his testimony from 25 plus. You know what they said about Phil Schneider? They said they found him. He was in his house. He killed himself. He stabbed himself or some shit and hung himself. It's like all this crazy shit, dude. Like, you're not going to be able to stab yourself or whatever it was, shoot himself like fucking 9 times. And he's, I committed suicide. Bang, 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 bang. Now I'm dead. Now, if you're going to kill yourself, you can put one bullet in your head. So it's like they cover up the fact that he was murdered for coming out and saying, not only are extraterrestrials are real, but they're seeking to take over the human race. That's another thing too. They talk about that this whole extraterrestrial phenomenon, that it's really about taking over. And now here's another thing too. Like, you can't think about good cop, bad cop. They say the Pleiadians, they said that they told the United States, don't make a deal with the Greys, that they're bad, right? And but they did, right? And then that's when all that Dulce War shit happened, because those were Greys supposedly, right? But the Pleiadians are supposed to be about like, we're a federation, kind of think of like Star Trek. They're supposed to be like this federation of extraterrestrials, and the reason why they have not come and made themselves publicly known in the world is because they're to only observe, right? They're only there to observe. But then they would intervene in this case with the Greys, and they're like, the Greys, you don't want to make deals with them because they're bad, right? It's kind of like good cop, bad cop. But again, the way I look at it, my view I look at it is that they're both bad. And it's even a further set you up. It's not only a Trojan horse, but also good cop, bad cop, all kinds of crazy shit, man. All kinds of crazy shit. But it's you can't deny that there are there are vehicles. I believe dude, there's some shit out there, man. You motherfuckers behind, man. You heard of Barney Hill and that woman?
Benny Hill?
But Benny Hill, whatever the
Benny
fuck.
Hill.
Barney Hill is probably the comedian or something. You heard about that? You know what they said when they were on when they were under hypnotism? They talked about that they seen, one of them said that they saw a Nazi military officer with these Greys. There's all kinds of crazy talk because you know what they say, they took after World War II in 1946. I can't remember Operation High Jump. All these ships went to Antarctica, and it says that they were overwhelmed, that these UFOs came up out the water, split fucking warships in half, and sent that military fleet, which was a coalition fleet, that they sent them back to America and Canada, and I don't know who, Barry Britain was also involved, sent them back with their tails between their legs. And that supposedly, like, we do know it is true that the Nazis had a base in Antarctica. Now, I'm not saying it was all high tech like fucking Cobra from G.I. Joe, because when you watch the cartoon Cobra from G.I. Joe, like Cobra was everywhere, man. He had all these fucking cool bases underground, above ground, and every other ground. But dude, there's so many crazy theories out there, man. Because like supposedly Nazis are on the moon, Nazis are in Antarctica, and when I say Nazi, I'm not saying like 1940s Nazi. I'm talking like just, well, I don't know what the fuck you call them, but they're like third, fourth generation. Like they're born into it somehow or whatever. And then there's extraterrestrials everywhere. It's like shit that it's, it's wild. Then you got, look what's happening in CERN. They're talking about looking for the God particle. And yet whenever they use that particle smasher, they see shit in the sky. Here's the thing about that particle smasher. When they use it, they talk about that they're seeing stuff that's eerily similar to of a demonic nature. That they're picking up stuff kind of like apparitions. Now, there's theories that, see this, like, man, people are like so fucking far out there, right? Because they'll be like, you got all these different there's all these different dimensions. So you have those that believe that, okay, not only are there extraterrestrials that come from other solar systems, other planets, but there's also interdimensional beings that are coming from another dimension. And wild shit, man. But the way I look at it is like, man, I look at it like it's demonic, and this other dimension that people think that these interdimensional beings are coming from, they're coming from, I hate to use the word dimension, but that, damn, how can I say? They're coming from that realm, the spiritual realm. And they're fooling people. I'll tell you what, okay, let's say I were to be right. Let's say my view would be right. I'm not saying it is, but I'm not saying it isn't. Let's say my view is right. Man, the devil's done a great job. Satan's done a great job. I hate to say the devil. It's so generic. The devil don't do it. The devil don't do it. The devil. I'll tell you what, I think Satan has done a great job. Dude, I feel like Satan has done a great job, because not only has Satan got people to believe that there's aliens, there's extraterrestrials, that there's interdimensional beings, that hell doesn't exist, that, think of how many times you've been to a funeral and they say, oh man, right now that guy, he's in heaven right now. And you got somebody though at that funeral, not all the time, but there's that one person in certain funerals, and they're like, man, that guy was a total fucking asshole. He's in hell. That guy was a complete fucking jerk. But whenever everybody dies, it's that person. Oh, he's in a better place. You really don't know that. That person could be screaming his fucking head off right now, burning in hell for the rest of his life. So you got all these theories about what's going on. And then you got evolution. Dude, you know how fucking bad it's gotten? Like when you look at from the 1960s to today, when they took prayer out of school and Roe versus Wade was made legal for abortions, and you got the sexual revolution, then you got the drug craze, and you know what you got? And then you had the same-sex marriage, and now what you got today, you got transgenderism. And I'm gonna tell you what, you know how that shit ties in with the iPad Go too, Mike, is when you go ahead and you look at them, they're supposed to be kids, and people said, oh, that's Sandy Hook. Those are kids. You remember that scene where it's got and I'm gonna tell you how you know what, this is my opinion, but it's a strong opinion. When you look at the kids, these are supposed to be dummies without faces, right? I'm not saying about like idiots, but like a dummy, right? Without faces, right? Children losing their identity.
Yeah,
that shit came to me, dude.
Very well
that shit came to me when have you ever watched iPad Go? You motherfucking shit a brick. You know what would happen if you watch iPad Go right now? We're gonna watch it. You know why? This isn't gonna just be about aliens. This is gonna be about, we're gonna put the system on trial. Now, you know what? You've never watched iPad Go 2? That motherfucking video will freak you out. Because if you know anything about eschatology, to study end times, and even if you didn't, there's the guy who came up with the guy who concocted this video. He said he had this dream, and he ended up putting all these, and he implemented the dream into a 3D animation, and it's so eerily similar. Like when you look at Islam, check this out. Islam, they believe that Jesus is going to come back, but they don't believe Jesus is a Christian. They don't believe Jesus died on the cross for their sins. He's going to come back. He's going to break the cross. He's going to say he was always a Muslim. He was never a Christian. He was the Christians are wrong, right? And there's this Madid. Now, you know what the Madid is? The Madid is actually supposed to be like this. The Madid is supposed to be the Antichrist, and that, or he's going to pair up with Jesus. Just bear with me, dude. The way Islam's eschatology is polar opposite of Christianity. So, like, their Messiah would be our Antichrist. Our Antichrist, in theory, would be their Messiah. When you look at Allah, how Allah is mentioned in the Quran, he's called the Great Deceiver. In the Bible, Satan's called the Great Deceiver. And because now another thing too, like I'm going out there, but dude, in the Quran, they're like, now this is when you get to pick and choose, right? You got your smorgasbord religion. You're like, I'll read this book, but I'll only abide with this, and that. I don't want this, so I'll take that out. And I don't want that, so I'll take that out. Get those stuffed mushrooms out of here, right? Check this shit out. Muhammad, he said the angel came to him, blah, blah, blah. I give a better story than blah, blah, blah. But he says that having a serious brain fart here. Hold on. He says, he says the people of the book, which is the Jews, he says that they have it wrong, that and they're lying to everybody. And the Christians, they have it wrong, and they know the truth too, but they're lying to everybody. So this third book had to come down from heaven, and this is the book that came directly from angels, from Jabal or whatever. It's supposed to be Gabriel, they say, Gabriel or something. But anyhow, here's the thing. They'll pick and choose what they believe. Well, in the Quran, they don't believe everything in the Old Testament. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And in the New Testament, they don't believe everything in the New Testament, right? They believe that Jesus walked the earth, that he was born. So there's stuff there's prophets from the Old Testament that are in the Quran, but the stories are all fucked up. They're all backwards. It's like the telephone game. I tell a story, you tell the same story, you tell the same story, but by the time it goes to Rich, it started off as a green elephant. Now it's a purple kangaroo, right?
Yes.
In the Quran, you see, in the Old Testament, it says with the Jews in the Old Testament, it says without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sins. So even Jewish people today, when they're over here and they're like, when Jewish people today, check this out. When Jewish people today did this, so this how, dude, I could point out so many ways how it. If you're a Jew today and you don't believe that Jesus is the Messiah, man, oh man, man, oh man, because there's so many prophecies that point that Jesus is the Messiah, that he was supposed to come 2,000 years ago. Mathematically, it's there. Now, if you're a Jew and you believe that without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sins, okay. How are you paying for your sins? You're killing lambs today? No. Are you killing bulls today? No. So there's no shedding of blood. So you're still stuck in your sins. And you think God didn't make a way? God has a, if that's the case, then everybody's been going to hell. There's because without the shedding of blood, there's no remission of sins. When Jesus died, he shed his blood. God made a lamb, a sacrificial lamb that was a person. I don't want to get all into the Christianity thing. I'll get back to the aliens, but the point being is that I just look at it, it's a demonic deception. And while you two hash it out, I'm gonna find some cool ass shit that just directly deals with aliens. But I'm telling you right now, man, I'm gonna be prepared. I'm not gonna just go and I'm not gonna fall for it. I'll put you onto some shit with Stan Dale. Stan Dale said that he helped engineer flying saucers. And he exposes the technology that's used. And he says that our governments, especially the U.S. military, they have this technology. So when people are saying that they're looking and they're, oh my gosh, look, and there's another one, that's another one. He explains it. He's like, in some cases, when they talk about these giant ships, like when they talk about the Phoenix Lights, people said the ship was like a mile long. Stan Dale said, he says, what they do, these ships, they're kind of like magnets. If they get together, they're like magnets, and then they just put something on top of them, and then they just hover, and it makes it look like a huge ship. Because something about in science that you can't have a ship that'd be like a mile long flying in the sky because it would break apart. I'm gonna go look up some Stan Dale shit. You guys like talking about aliens. I know for a fact you like talking about the solar system and da da da. And for the listeners, I'll give them strange news.
The strange news. I'm Guy Ticker. Threat program. UFOs are real. According to a TTS-AAS statement, its team members who have been, quote, operating under the shadows of top secrecy for decades, close quote, believe that there is sufficient credible evidence of UAP that proves exotic technologies exist that could revolutionize the human experience. For good or bad, we just don't know. Investigators identify foot found in Yellowstone hot pool. Park officials said the unattached appendage belonged to Il Run Ho, a 70-year-old man from Los Angeles, but it isn't clear how the foot ended up in the spring. Woman left looking like an angry bird after attempt to dye eyebrows. In a video posted to her TikTok, she said, quote, I decided to dye my hair, right? And I thought, I've got dye left over, so I'll dye my eyebrows. Just tint them a bit, close quote. She went on to say, and I'm quoting here, so I did that, and then I went and tidied my room. So I haven't looked in the mirror or looked at my phone or anything. And, oh my God, just prepare yourself for what you're about to see, because this is actually awful. Close quote. Michigan trucker believes he encountered and shot a dog man. Trucker Joe Barger, 59, recently recounted his story to the host of a YouTube channel. He said that is when he remembered his handgun. Barger pulled his .45 caliber Colt, strapped to his waist, and took 2 shots at the creature. Barger said, and I am quoting here, he instantly went down. I was looking at him as he was sliding into the weeds. I was almost at point-blank range. so I'm pretty sure I got him through the eye orbit. His head was huge. Everything on this animal was black except his teeth and eyes. I wasn't really panicked, but it's the scaredest I've ever been in my life. Close quote. Barger, assuming the creature to be dead, wanted to turn around and check on the carnage to make sure he didn't, quote, lose his mind, close quote. About a mile up the road, he found a spot large enough to turn his truck around in. Is Dogman real? He thinks so. What do you think? UFOs, hype, uproar, disinformation, and mystery. Here we go again. UFOs are making headlines again, with U.S. intelligence services and NASA announcing they're studying more recent reports of sightings. Do you believe? Black bear with awful taste passes out after shotgunning 36 beers. So who can blame a bear for absolutely obliterating 36 beers and getting, and I'm quoting here, rip shit drunk, close quote. And how did they figure this out? The loads of Rainier beer cans surrounding the bear might have been a clue. Apparently, the bear got into a camper's coolers and used its claws and teeth to open the cans, shotgun style, eh? However, it appears this bear in the woods isn't a fan of Bush. I'm Guy Ticker. The Strange News is brought to you by Night Dreams Talk Radio Network. Do you have a strange story? Contact us at nightdreamstalkradio.com.
All right, we're back. Now you talked about what?
Well, you were been talking about the aliens all this time and all kinds of stuff.
All right, I want to hear from you now.
All right, I'm gonna tell you where I think what aliens are. This is what I think they are. I think they're actually like human beings from a breakaway civilization, like from like back in Egypt and stuff like that. All them people that left them mines and all them people, maybe some of them people just ran. I heard that just ran out because they died because of whatever they did. But like I just believe that maybe that there was it was us. And it's just us in the future, like, and coming back and trying to like take over with their plan, you know, because they left us here, and then they took all the technology, and then when you see all the stuff, it's just them just showing their technology. And them aliens.
Keep talking.
They could be anywhere. Them aliens, I'm telling you, but like. I think, like I said, like, and they're just coming here now, and they've been here for like probably like. And there's probably some other kind of like species of like animals, like when they talk about those Draco people or lizard people and stuff.
Reptilians.
Like that.
You ever heard of David Icke?
Yeah, the reptilians. Yeah, he talked about them, the reptilians and stuff like that, and how they're all in everywhere. They're everywhere. If that's how the case is, wouldn't that be true? Because they talk about it so much. I don't know. It just seems like. When you turn on a lot of the stuff anywhere and you listen to people talk, and it's just like, really, people don't really talk about really shit. They just got their heads down in their phones most of the time when they have come over to your house for like when you have company, family. I know they just pretty much look at their phones a lot, you know, and shit like that. But they got to look at people and talk. But anyway, like the breakaway civilization, and they're just like coming over here now, and they want to just make everything just a big mess so they can dwindle it down like they were talking about doing before they blew up them the Georgia Guidestones. Remember that when that all of a sudden when that like flashlight and that shit like disappeared, and all of a sudden like people were like, what happened? But you don't even hear nothing anymore about it. It's like, oh, it's just got this a big flash, and it's like boom, on to the next thing. There's always the next thing all the time. It's like it just wipes your memory from what was just going on, you know. It's like always another big bombshell of some kind of something else there to distract your brain from something else. But maybe that's just them. They're using their technology and using their plan to just give us hell, to just break us all down, to be like, ha, look at us, we got all the technology, you ain't got shit, you're like little animals, and we're gonna treat you like shit, and this is the diseases we're releasing this year, you know. That's how it goes. You hear this people talk, and you know who the guy is. He just had a meeting not that long ago again, and all of a sudden, are we going to end up having another like some kind of breakout of some kind of like disease or something?
Are you talking about Fauci, man?
Oh no, the other guy there, the computer nerd guy with the glasses and shit.
Are you talking about Bill Gates?
Oh, that's him. That's the guy.
Bill Gates. He's
Yeah,
my
like
buddy.
last time they had that meeting and stuff like that, and all of a sudden that I watched somebody talking about that on the internet, and all of a sudden there it was, they were doing it. They were maybe they weren't doing it, but the shit was happening with the COVID and stuff like that. So when they have we're gonna pretend that this is gonna happen, and we're gonna see how we're gonna go about to whatever we're gonna do with it, and then they just do it, and here we are. We're gonna be facing it again.
It's kind of like that famous photo of all those UFOs that are above the White House. You ever watch that? You ever see that photo?
I saw that.
Yeah, is that real?
Yeah,
that's
just
Photoshop, because they had Photoshop way back when they first even had cameras. They did that stuff.
I got something to say. What Richie was saying. He's saying, if you believe in an alien, you don't believe in the higher power. I don't get that. That's not real. If you see an alien, you see an alien. It has nothing to do with higher power. It has nothing to do with it at all. That's nothing. Because you're seeing what you're seeing.
I don't know. It's not. It's not that
too much of the stuff. I don't see it myself, man. A lot of the stuff.
It's not that I don't believe in that there can't be a higher power. It's just the perception, the Christian perception. It cannot coincide.
Oh, what they say. It's what they say, right?
Well,
it says if you believe,
so I look at it when I read the Bible, it does not fit in. I don't want to be.
Well, yeah, but you're recording with the Bible and that too, you know. So
well, the Bible's I tell you what, it's prophetic. There's things that have happened in the Bible and I'm not saying.
Did you know what happened to the 7 kings?
Who's that? Tell me about.
Well, them how they got tortured?
Who's
that one dude? I don't remember his name. You know, Joseph or somebody like that. Got hung upside down on the cross, the opposite what the Lord was put on.
Oh, you're talking about no. You're talking about the Andrew. Oh no, Peter. Peter was crucified upside down.
Yeah, Peter. Yeah, that dude. Yeah, he got hung upside down. He wasn't nailed either. He was tied there. He was hung upside down.
I'm gonna ask you, how was he tied? Just out of curiosity, let's see if you know.
To the cross.
How?
How?
Well, he talks about that there was a belt put around his waist. That Jesus told him that Jesus told him that he would die in similar manner. But he said that when you were a child, your dad carried you and took you places you didn't want to go. But later on, someone else will carry you by your weight around your waist and take you where you don't want to go. It's talking about the crucifixion, how you'd be crucified upside down.
Yeah, I heard about something.
Now tell us about aliens, though.
Well, you say that, you know, because aliens are real. They're here. Hey, you take the technology that came up within the last 10 years.
You saw what?
You seen the aliens at the restaurant. Remember the highway
restaurant? Oh, yeah.
Them two dudes, you couldn't see their face. It was blurry and they were bald headed.
Yeah.
We couldn't see their face. It was at the highway restaurant of 41 that used to be there.
Michelle was there too.
Yeah. All of us were just sat down and we're like, you just couldn't see.
Why don't you get your fine chili?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're here, take the technology that we got so far. The human beings down here don't have that fucking conception of the brain to make those things. How did they make a little chip that's a 16th inch long, 16th inch wide, and 1/36 thin, and put all that knowledge on that little thing? How did that happen?
And wait a minute, are we talking about your dick or talking about a chip?
Well, you could talk about that too.
Viagra.
You want to talk about that too?
16th of an inch.
But yeah, how is that? How is that though? How is that?
Chemicals.
You're all tripping on ass today.
I'm sorry, but
the yellow one.
But that's real though. How did that all happen?
I
know how the dick came along. I know how that came. I want to know about that chip.
No, I was gonna say, well, they talk about after with the Roswell crash. There's a general that came out and he talked on his deathbed. He said that, like I said, fiber optics, infrared, Teflon. I believe Teflon was another. These are all things that were they were re-engineered, but came from that crash. If you believe that,
they came from all over the place.
Them from the putrid,
the putrid mass. Wherever this place is.
Have you ever had a DeLorean?
Hey,
Right? That's why it's like around. Everybody's got a big ass fucking drone up there and they're just playing games. And they had made these drones like long ago.
Hey, can you explain the ring around the light around Madison, that big white ring that was around Madison?
Ice
You think that was?
crystals.
Hold on. Do you think that was
That was real. That was real.
No, I'm not saying real. I'm saying, do you think that was an extraterrestrial?
That has something to do with transport. Damn right.
Oh, hey, do you think
Because
maybe, hold on,
look at
I got a great idea. I'm just
Were
hearing
they
this now, but
kids?
listen, I got a great idea. Do you think that there's a particle smasher there? Because the thing about those particle smashers, like when they talk about CERN, is there's these giant circles that were above CERN.
Yeah, that's what happened
sky.
here.
Yeah, you know what? Now there's particle smashers all around.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
whole bunch of them. I heard that there's like hundreds of them.
So
I thought
you
there was
could
just
say,
one. I thought there was just one big ass one.
You're doing that. The
There's a
one,
whole bunch of them. Where
the
they
one
all
that
coming
went
from?
into 2 different
Is
countries.
it like a Mandela effect or something? Because I feel like that sometimes. Because it's
The
like I
clouded-
remember it just being one, and all of a sudden people are like, "No, there's a whole bunch of them." Like everybody knew but me. How could that be? It's like when I watch these nature shows. I'm like, "Hey, I'm watching this stuff." I'm like, "Oh," and they're like,
Clouded
"Then there's a weird ass
reactor.
fucking monkey with no nose," or there's some other stuff. Maybe that was really recent, but there's some other stuff that they said that's been around for like a long time.
okay, the only 2 things that got to me about that Mandela effect was Captain Crunch. I remember it being Captain, not Captain Crunch.
Yeah, because we would say Captain.
It was Captain
Stand
Crunch.
by.
It's spelled out Captain.
Yeah, now it shows Captain. It says it was a whole
Captain.
time on
I'm
about.
capping your ass.
Now, hold on,
Mouth,
I think
cuts your roof of your mouth.
They said
Fuck your cereal.
they said they made it short
that cereal. Cuts the
for the
roof of my-
price.
No,
It's costing them too much money to put the full.
They're saying that the whole time it was always Captain. It was never Captain. And the other one,
Capping that ass.
hold on. And the other one
for your
is
breakfast.
the other one is the Berenstein Bears,
Oh,
man.
that's the first one I remember.
Oh yeah, that one there. Yeah, I remember that one. You showed me that,
Yeah,
Mike. You
yeah,
showed me
I
that.
remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It happened when I was a kid. That one. That was a long time ago when that one happened. And then there was the street lights that changed with the dudes with the white. They were wearing white hats, and they had the ladders, and they had the white overhauls on. I just remember them changing the lights because one of the lights blew out. But then when they came back, the lights were opposite than what they were.
Yeah, just like in Dick and Jane book. It says, Dick made Jane come.
He did. What spot there?
There was a spot there. That's how Dick found out.
Dick fell on a spot.
Yeah.
Oh, you broke it. It's all right.
But aliens are they're real things. I mean, our knowledge that we got now, there is not a person on this earth that had them kind of fucking brains. The highest IQ that's in America, and this guy is fucking dead, was 172. IQ of 172.
No, there's gotta be IQ
no.
higher than that, dude.
Trump, what's think Trump's IQ is?
Like 156.
Yeah, that's what it is, 156.
Wow,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
smart.
I'm really smart. Thank you, guys.
Well, they won't give they said that Biden's is like 68. No, like 118 or 120 or something like that.
Okay,
That's his IQ.
listen, Albert Einstein was between 160 and 190.
Was he an alien?
There was
Tesla?
nobody 190.
you know, think about
There
they
was
say.
never 190. There was never nobody
Well,
190.
I'm just saying that's what they're showing here, man.
Yeah, I know, but I know there was nobody 190 or IQ of 190.
What do you
I
got
think
here?
180 something was the highest point.
And
Pre-
all the
that-
top
them are-
ones are all people dead.
But of course, I'm going with the
Dude, they said
presidency.
William James Sidis had an IQ between 250 and 300.
Wow.
You know?
From England.
Uh, it's like from England. I don't know where the fuck. dude.
Well, I should say where he's
Nah.
born.
No, because this is
Nobody got that high IQ. Nobody's got it. You'll be sitting in a corner. You'd be sitting in a corner all by yourself with a dunce hat on.
Next question.
You'd be
Got
so
one.
smart that you'd be stupid
Got a silver dunce hat.
because he'll never really understand what you're saying. With an IQ of 200,
Understand what I'm saying?
you'll never understand what the fucking person's
Well,
saying.
me, mom.
See, open the car door and get in. He wouldn't even understand that.
Huh?
He wouldn't even fucking understand that. But IQ over 200,
Where are we?
because your
going?
brain is so active,
I don't know.
so
I
highly
think they're
active.
gonna
When your
know.
brain gets highly active,
They're gonna know. Hey, we're gonna.
But
go
of
for
course,
a ride.
maybe there is. Maybe the aliens are pretty freaking smart. And how do they get here? I got you know, hypothetical
tunnel?
speaking that this is what I'm presuming.
You want to talk, Rich?
It's two black holes.
Come on.
Two black holes?
Two black holes. One ports up, and then when you go back to the other back.
All right, listen.
Oh,
The
interesting.
gobbler
Rich-
and the receiver.
Rich wants
Receiver, huh?
Rich wants to get in, man. Rich wants to get in.
Did you see?
Yeah,
the
come on,
alien?
Rich. Let me hear about your experience with aliens. Now we gotta keep the illegals out.
So when that
We know
alien
you know a
touched
lot
you, or
about
did the
them
alien
guys.
touch you?
It's not so much about that,
Talking to him.
All right.
but it's about the Mandela effect, right? Now you know the God's
Yeah.
particle, how y'all were speaking about it.
Yes.
Do you guys know that there's an episode of The Simpsons where 14 years prior, Homer Simpson solved the God's particle? Do you guys know about that?
I
I
heard
think I remember something like
I
that.
heard
but he was off
something.
by something was off on it.
But still, that's
yeah.
Actually, I know what he's talking about. I did hear about that. I wasn't even looking for that shit. I came across it on TikTok or whatever.
There's a bunch of that shit though. There's
Yeah.
most of the Mandela effect that
Do you think aliens are causing that effect? Or you think it's AI? Do you think we're like maybe the aliens are controlling us like inside of some kind of like digital world, kind of like the Matrix? Maybe they already got us in there already like that. Maybe we're already in like little pods right now.
Yeah. Who is that? Who we
They're
got with
telling
us right
about
now?
it by showing us those movies and saying, ha ha ha, we got all the technology. Ha ha ha, fuck you, ha ha ha. For real. Yeah. Ain't none of that. Take me to your leader. This is like do what they want to you.
What's your opinion on aliens, Rich? You got talking to the mic too, man. You got listeners out there.
Yeah, I can talk right.
see, I believe in them. But like he was speaking on, you can't be a believer of aliens if you're big into the Christianity faith and things of that nature. But
You don't believe that God would have made like aliens too? He made all the other life forms. Why couldn't he just say,
did
no,
make
what?
aliens too,
They're
Mike, but
aliens.
it's called just Aliens. The prequel was just Alien. Sequel was
Oh, yeah,
Aliens.
I liked that movie better than the third one. The second one was the best one besides the first one, Alien.
I
and
think
Aliens.
everybody did.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, when it comes to aliens, it could be a very scary situation. Like say these aliens come from a different planetary system and they're here like to hurt you.
yeah,
Come and gather you up and use it for food, You never know. But and then there could be ones coming down here to come and snatch you up and get you the fuck off this planet before it disintegrates.
Dude, that's like that Twilight Zone episode where in the end it says that chick's like, the book, I translated it, and it's not how to it's not serving man, it's how to serve man. And they go in there eating people. They got them all horned up in the ships, take them away to eat them.
Did you ever see that Blue Oyster Cult?
I like that band.
Where they got some old people and they make wafers out of their ass.
Oh, that's a movie?
Yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah,
You talking about like Soylent Green? What you
Soylent Green.
You talking about Soylent Green?
Soylent Green, yeah.
Oh,
Remember when they
I see
took
that.
them old people,
That's a weird
put them
one.
in a paradise, like, and it's really nice, and they die off, and take them out and they put them in the incinerator and shit, make, food out of them. Wafers.
That was Edward G. Robinson's last film.
Yeah, that was his very last film. I like that G. Robinson. He was pretty
It
cool.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That movie.
I like the way he speak.
Did that movie in the 30s where
Wait,
he
he
was
speak?
Rico or something? Or no, he did a movie with Humphrey Bogart
Yeah.
where he was a bad guy, and they did another movie, Little Caesar. That's what it was called. Little Caesar's where he's a mafia.
Yeah, he's mafia. Yeah, he's mafia.
I remember Little Caesars. It's not $5 pizza no more.
it's $6.
Messed it all up.
And the meat isn't real meat.
And the pizza is not real pizza.
Without, we don't have to just talk about aliens. We can talk about something else that ties into it.
Well, aliens,
You believe
I'm telling about technology. That's leading into it, for real. Like I said about the chips of my
Chocolate chips.
chocolate chip, yeah.
What kind of
Now,
cookies?
really, how did they do that? How did they get all that information? Everything in the world, you can put snot blow and it come up on there and it tell you what the fuck it is. Yeah.
Blow your nose. And
Blowing your nose is something that comes out of your nose, and they have something on it. They ain't gotten, oh, it doesn't compute to anything that we don't have any knowledge of. They got knowledge of everything on there. Everything. Every fucking thing. You know? Why does my eye hurt when I look at a pussy? Well.
Because you're an alien?
Yeah.
STD.
Conjunctivitis?
Yeah, for real. I mean, when it comes to technology, where does all this technology come from? I mean, like I said,
beings.
there is no person on this earth that has that fucking kind of knowledge. There ain't nobody here. Hey, look at what he owns Twitter.
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk. Robots.
Spaceman.
He's making robots. He's making fucking robots that are like people. Just like people, man. You look at some of the people out there on TV, the newscasters and all that. Sometimes you look at them. Do you look like a robot? The eyes don't blink. The eyes don't blink. You know, and their vocal cord here doesn't go up and down. Doesn't go up and down. Their eyes don't shift around. You know, like we were. You know, we look. You know, like this here. They don't. They look right straight forward. There's nothing this way, nothing this way, nothing this way, nothing this way. They're looking at just like that. But
they're talking to us here.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, why doesn't he blink? Why doesn't the throat go up and down when you talk? You know, you could see that. You know, and you can see the motion when you turn your head. You don't turn your body like this to look at somebody. And I really seen this on the news. And that was nightly news.
With Dan Rather?
Oh, Dan Rather. It was a lady talking. But she wasn't the alien. It was the other one that was in the other part. You know, she was talking to in a different television section, you know, across town or some fucking thing. And she was talking, and that's real. There was no, I was looking, what the fuck, how she don't blink? I said, that guy sitting next to him, blinking his eyes, you know, and looking around, his eyes are moving, you know, when he's talking, you know, and looking down, you know, and he's shifting around, and he goes like this. And I know it's her, and she says, well, what do you think about that? There was no vocal movement. There was no thing of the eyeballs. Blinking. No shifting of the eyes at all. It was a straight look. And then when she went back to the camera, she went like that and looked right straight into the camera without having a blink.
Wow, that's interesting.
And then when she got up, the chair got up with her pussy. Sucked
the chair up?
Yeah, sucked the chair right up. And you should have saw that was a comical thing when she was walking out.
She pretended she didn't have that chair, didn't she?
Dude, I thought you were making that shit up like this.
No way.
Yeah, but that was real. That was real. That's a real thing. I really did see. I really did see that. You know, kind of odd too. I wish she would have picked up her hand and did something with her hand. You know, you know what I mean?
Well, how'd she walk out like?
No, her hands are always down on her knees, like, you know, she's sitting there talking.
Okay.
You know, and she's talking and just like a stare with no blink, you know, without a little flash here, nothing. You talk 20 minutes and your eyes are going to blink once in a while. Yeah.
All the time.
You know, and then you're going to see this vocal cord move. You know, when you talk, you know, you can see it right here. You can see that little movement. You didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing.
I'm getting scared. I'm gonna have to start staring at the TV now. I'm gonna stare at the TV. I'm gonna stare at the TV and see if I can see.
Just look at their eyes.
If their eyeballs change, or if their teeth get pointy.
They got no pupil. They got no pupil though.
TV too.
And that's no pupil.
When it goes, all that weird shit happens. You see, hey, how come that person's got stripes on their face and their teeth look weird, or it's just weird glitches and stuff the camera can't control what's going on anymore, and or something's happening. I don't know. I've seen it before. I remember one time I took a picture of that and I showed that to my wife. My wife looked at it and said, "What is that?" That was the end of that one.
How about like when they'll show that footage and they'll have people's eyes and their eyes are like lizard eyes?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
You see that on TV too, though.
Yes, right on TV. Right on TV. I took pictures of that stuff
because the pupils are like this in their
There's
eyes.
slits.
Yeah.
There's slits, and it's like, is it just really just like some malfunction of a camera?
That's how you tell an alien, though.
It's always the same type of one. Like that one guy, he always got them black stripes on his face, and then when it happens, he is all every. I mean, it was one time it happened, and then months later on, it happened again to the same guy, and it was the same stripes. He looked exactly the same thing when it glitched out the same way. How could that be like that? How could it glitch out the same way again? Wouldn't that be impossible for something to glitch out? You know, the same way over and over again? It's different with different camera or whatever, different days and stuff like that. I don't see how that could happen with the. And is that a guy an alien?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say who he is, and then all of a sudden, you know,
Boom, you're gone.
You know,
it might take me somewhere.
and another thing you could tell is their
Alien
eyes.
land.
They have no pupil. It's just a big black circle there. And every once in a while, you see a little flash. He's taking a picture or something. No, I want to kid.
Where the
But
people
it is.
look
It's
up
just,
and all of a
just
sudden, when
black.
you see the
Just
whites
black,
of their
no
eye, you see
pupil.
another eye.
Just all black. Just the black circle.
I seen somebody look up, and then there was another eye there. When
Oh.
Another eyelid?
you know, another eyeball. Fadier looking one. There was an eye, and then they went look up, and then you could see like an eye was there, and it like showed it, and then they went, and then it was there.
You gotta remember though, too, they got a lot of CG out there.
Yeah, but there's got to be truth inside a lot of this stuff too. They can't be just all lies. Everything's a lie, 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 lie. There's got to be them. It got to be that one truth with the two scoops of lies. There's always the truth on all the stuff, even if it's anything, there's a truth in it, right? When it makes sense, it has to be.
The beginning of it is the truth. In the middle and the ending is not the truth.
It isn't,
because they exaggerate as they go along.
Oh, I see.
You know, I know. I do that.
You.
I don't exaggerate.
Yeah, you do.
I prologue
In
things.
the bathroom.
You know, I mean, I put everything in.
Exaggerates in the bathroom, I thought. What's a blue pill?
I know. I
Microchip
take
thing,
the yellow pill. I take the
30
yellow
seconds or whatever you said.
the yellow pill.
Yeah. Just like that one guy said, you have to have the raging.
But I only take the 4 free ones. I don't take the ones that you buy. I want the 4 free ones. I told him, you keep the bottle and that shit, but I just give me the 4 free.
You talking about this clip from Steve-O?
I do like to blast my seed all over the place with a raging hard boner. That's how I like to do it. That's how my girl likes me to do it, with a raging hard boner. And you know what helps with a raging hard boner? Blue Chew tablets. If you haven't tried them yet, then I think you might be out of your mind, especially if you're wondering, taking Blue Chew tablets might be a lot of fun. Yeah, it is a lot of fun. It's got the same active ingredient as both Viagra and Cialis, except it only costs a fraction of the price. Plus, if you go to bluechew.com and use the promo code Steve-O, they'll give you an entire month's supply of Blue Chew tablets completely for free. All you have to pay is $5 for shipping. Plus, with the medical provider at bluechew.com,
you want to take the things? I'll tell you, take one.
It's super
You ain't gonna bang your old lady
right there in a couple minutes.
You ain't gonna bang her.
Online.
You are.
You get so fucking hard. You get so hard, it just fucking does automatic. It's like a machine gun.
Months,
you know, by the time you get to your old lady, it's all done.
So there's
Fuck them blue pills.
You can satisfy your curiosity for how much fun you're going to have with Blue Chew tablets and the raging hard boner they're going to give you. Hey, man, I love it. I think you're going to love it too. So one more time, go to bluechew.com and use the promo code Steve-O to get that amazing deal. You're going to thank me. And so will your wiener. Yeah. All right. Let's get back to it.
Yeah, you know,
monster again.
They left one thing out. They only got fucking blue pills. What happened to them yellow pills?
Another commercial.
No, if you
yellow pills.
if you buy 2 bottles,
yeah,
you get 4 pills for free. 2 blue and 2 yellow.
2.
But why can't you just take the free ones and forget about the fucking bottle? Try them out first. No, I want the free ones. You keep
I
the
don't know, maybe
bottle
they're not
because they make you pay
truckers.
for that. That's not really free. That fucking shipping on that fucking shit, man. It doesn't cost $24 fucking dollars to ship a fucking bottle of fucking pills.
It doesn't. You know how much it costs like $5.
Yeah, boners.
My wiener.
It looks like an alien. I got a little chrome hat on it too.
He's got a tinfoil hat on his dick right now.
Well, I took the yellow pill. It keeps the hat on. Strong all day.
This is what happens when
Like
it gets
bump it.
old. When you get old, it gets like that, and you go like this here.
Well, I got a different pill for that, don't they?
All right, check it out, man.
Yeah, that's the orange stripe one with the blue dot.
Hey, check it out. No, Travis. No, dude. I don't even think we said the name right. His name is Travis Walton. Hey, Rich, give me that mouse, please. Hand me the mouse. I'm gonna click this. Too bad this isn't touchscreen.
I'm gonna get me a real mouse, and he's gonna have for a mouse, and I'm gonna give it to him. Here,
Let's get a big rat.
you use this one.
You can get one that taxidermy did just have the guy put that.
Have to pick out that fucking rat if you grab and start moving around, and the things start moving.
So,
You'd have it look it up.
what do you remember
Grab it
from
in
that
the
moment
belly.
on?
Yeah.
When I regained consciousness, it wasn't real quick. It wasn't real walking right up.
It was like a cartoon.
It was real slow. It was dim.
See, he took a half a blue pill.
My consciousness was kind of like in and out for a while. I didn't know where I was.
Well, that was one hell of a
Pain and the feeling
In his boner.
that I was mortally wounded. Something was so wrong inside. I felt like I was dying.
Are we
And
talking to Dick?
This is what really
His
fueled
ego
the
is what got
panic
affected.
when I finally laid eyes on these creatures. Of course, all of
That was your fingers.
mental programming that we get from Hollywood that aliens are invading monsters, didn't help. But I instantly associated this feeling of dying with pain with them. So
You're not supposed to squeeze your balls, dude.
Where were you?
I was lying on my back on a raised table.
Getting
There was
massaged
a
by
light
some
above
Asians.
me.
Happy ending.
He was.
It was not real bright. It was not so bright that I couldn't.
Yeah, that's what
see
happens
the
when it
outline
gets in
of
your
the
eyes.
fixture.
You gotta watch that
What's the
shit.
picture look like?
Kind of like that, only much larger. Just a soft.
I got a Playboy
glow.
book. I fuck a whole
And,
bunch of fucking women.
In the movie, there's a little bit of striking on the part of the aliens against me. That didn't happen. I lashed out at them. The one closest to me, I felt really weak. I didn't have enough strength to do much. So when my arm contacted him, he just fell back.
That was your dick.
Very unexpectedly easy into the other one. And
Oh,
I rolled
switch
off
hands?
the table in the other
It's
direction.
Be like Mystery Science Theater 3000.
It's kind of like, I'm not even sure what's going
They
on.
came
right now.
around the table, and the three of them were coming towards me.
What is coming?
And I just
Aliens,
grabbed
he's
something
abducted.
it's
from
aliens.
behind me.
That was the
just
doctors.
off of the
No doctors
shelf
resuscitating you.
there. And
That
started
what's
swinging
the
it at
light
them.
from
What was the
the
object?
table?
Yeah.
It was just some large, long cylinder or rod.
That was the cone
glass
inside the
and
light,
clear
dude.
material. Wasn't studying it. I was looking at them.
You know, when you go through an operation, you
Swinging
got that big light
wildly.
there, got the big cone in the
Screaming
center.
threats.
Oh, yeah.
They stopped. And I was planning on attacking more fully, just making way past them. The only doorway I could see was on the other side of them.
And it looked like a doorway.
Yeah,
It was a doorway. It was a doorway.
What did they look like?
And you were really trying to get the fuck
No,
out
no.
of there.
Listen, I want to say this because he says that he saw a doorway, right?
Yeah.
And his doorway, like Joe Rogan asked him, he says it looked like a doorway. And I literally thought that myself right now. Did it look like a doorway? Like what we know as a doorway? Now, here's the thing about this. What's the odds? To me, this ties in with that Benny Hill, right? Benny Hill, or is it Barney Hill?
Benny Hill.
Okay. Benny Hill, because listen, Benny Hill talks about the I don't give a fuck. Now listen. That couple, okay, whatever.
This is the version of the Twilight Zone.
All right, listen.
I don't see it happening.
Listen. What I'm trying to say is this, okay? That couple, when they were abducted, they said that there was a Nazi military man that was on the ship with these gray aliens, right? Again, to me, like hearing the story that he sees a door that looks like a door, to me, it just ties in with a demonic deception.
Is
It's
it
a
a door
lie.
or not?
To me, it just ties in with. To me, it ties in with. It's a man-made vehicle. I look at the extraterrestrials that, well, if they're not man-made, they're made by the Nephilim. But I don't want to like you got Christians that believe that they believe that this breed of half man and half alien race is still angel race is still out there, which is the Nephilim it's oh man, it's so just that's why I just want to stick to testimony.
Reminds me of the X-File episode. Remember that one?
Tell me.
I can't remember it now. See?
All right. Well, you don't even remember
Messed me
it.
I take a yellow pill and a blue pill.
That's all you remember.
I took both of them and I was like, I remember something. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. What happened?
That's what happened to aliens. Deleting you.
I had a sore butt when I woke up.
Oh.
What are you laughing for?
Hey, you guys want to hear Phil Schneider's testimony about what he saw, what he claims he saw?
All right, yeah. He didn't see a door though, did he?
No, he saw.
No, it looked like it was a door.
Hey,
Oh,
like it
yeah.
either
type
is or
Phil
not.
Schneider.
Phil Snyder. You know, I still think it's that dude that owns the orange pumpkin trunks.
Oh, I remember
trucks
the
that somewhere.
episode now of that X-Files. And that was the one where that alien black goo stuff got that kid down in that hole in there, and dude was all like, and then you took him off, and then it was actually not aliens, it was actually humans that were like, and the dude thought they were aliens, but it was actually humans that were like doing this stuff to this dude. Somehow tied into that thing with that kid with that black goo stuff.
Well, when it breaks down to it, I believe in aliens. I really do. I really, really do. There's no way that we can be who we are without having aliens around.
You gotta have.
I mean,
there's about like witches and that. Why didn't were the aliens back then, or were they always called witches? And then all of a sudden they just turned into something more like, oh wait, we're smarter.
So check this out. Hey, check this out. I can't even find these videos with Phil Schneider now.
Yeah,
they were all on here.
They put them out. They took them off then.
Oh, that's fuck, dude. I'm telling you, that's a conspiracy.
Is that YouTube?
Yeah, I'm on YouTube right now, man.
We're talking about
you spell Snyder right? SYDER.
Well, that's an hour and a half.
Scary stuff right there.
Listen up, dirtbag.
Get yourself the blue pill. Don't forget to say Steve-O. Look at that shit.
Just call Richie at 414-999-2229.
Our goal is to locate a secret underground base where the government reportedly has been housing aliens and carrying out strange experiments.
Is that NORAD or something?
My name's Ken Storch, and there's definitely something strange going on.
Why in Colorado do they have
My
that
name's Bob.
place in the mountains like that? They shoot you, you get so fucking close.
So they can see far away. They want to see all the way.
There's something up there that in that cave.
They got antennas inside the cave. They have.
We're here in Dulce, meeting with Bob.
I saw a car
that
up
have been
there.
looking into this area for over
But
10
it was
years.
a military car.
These guys have made Dulce the central focus of their investigations.
I used to watch it disappear, the mountain disappear.
From the clouds?
Yeah, the clouds are a storm, and it'd be all white, and it'd be gone, and then it'd be there, here and there, and then I watched the clouds bounce up in the air and disappear.
That place up in
Dude.
Colorado, that he said it's not operative anymore, but that fucking ain't. That's where they got all the shit that fucking that missiles go.
You want to watch this video, this iPad Go 2 video? I'd love to get your take on it.
I thought they came out with a new one.
It's called it's called iPad Go 2 because we're looked at as goats in the people. There's FEMA camps and there's so much.
Yeah, I know the people.
No. Listen, there's so much subliminal messages in this. There's so much shit that's just everywhere, dude. Cut me. I always want to tell you. I want to almost tell you to come sit right here or whatever. But
no, I couldn't hear it.
I want you to be able to. You can't. It's not talking. This is just a video. It's clips.
Oh, so you can see the clip. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can do something.
Here. I got a seat for you right here. See it, ladies. Sit right here on my Polish chair.
Oh,
no, you should be fine.
And if it's a female,
can you do this then?
Do whatever you want. Right?
I like that. I like that.
I can stick it. I can.
It's too short though.
Right in it.
Too short. Hey, this thing when you used to check your asshole back in the day, you stick your finger in there and you dig around and shit.
They stuck their wiener in it.
Yeah, you don't know if you did or not because you're bent over.
Hey,
sore butt when I woke up.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna play the video right now.
I woke up with a sore butt.
I'm gonna play the video right now.
I'll put my chair around.
That happened to you? You looked at me like it happened to you too. It was your teeth and it was your butt. Oh.
You can't do shit. Yeah. Are you ready? You're fucking up the mic too. Quit fucking with that mic, man.
Hello, Mr. Mike.
You're gonna break the. This would be like
I gotta turn. I you.
Fucking punk.
Are you gonna wipe your ass on it next?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna play it now.
Fart and then wipe your ass on it.
Listen, I'm gonna play it now. Here, help him with that mic. Help him with that mic, Mike. There you go. All right.
Not so far. Hey.
I'm ready. Are you ready? I'm ready, dude.
I'm ready.
Come closer to me. Come closer. The depths of hell. Here, sit down. Yeah, sit here. You can swing around. That noise is hypnotizing. You're entranced. You're entranced.
I'm something. Oh, look at
Oh, look at this guy.
I think I saw something like this.
Just talking to the mic though.
Yeah, I think I saw something like that.
Shame on. Shame on. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. For me, take that fold again. Take that fold again. Take that fold again. Take that fold again. Take that fold again.
What the hell is he doing? Who's that guy? Is that Obama?
Yeah. Now that's why I say the transgender.
No identity. They don't know who they are.
These kids have no identity.
Lost it.
That shit's scary, man.
That was
That stuff
badass.
is really
Yeah.
weird, man. It's like those fish wanted to hop on that boat. They thought they were gonna get saved or something.
You know, I look at that as the rapture.
That's what that is with the fish jumping
Because
on
Jesus
the boat.
talks about being a fisher. He tells Peter and Simon, he says that you'll be a fisher of men. Like right now you catch fish, but right now I'll make you a fisher of men. Where in Christianity, people who are lost and saved, they're like the people who witness them. They're like fish, like gathering fish. But here's the point: that this video has so many. Like when you look at the very beginning, when you have that goat, you might not seen it with that goat. They look at that as that's FEMA camps, and the goat's got a mark on its head, and it's brainwashed. Its eyes are spinning, and it's just like, dude.
Yeah, they're doped.
No,
yeah, they're drugged, really drugged. That's what I took that drug.
Deceived.
That's pertaining to that.
Well, in my opinion, I look at it as that's being deceived, and now I could be like, Jesus said, whoever leads into captivity shall go into captivity. Can you imagine? Like, you'll have people. Let's say if the Bible's true, you're gonna have people, and you're gonna have people to be like, "Come on, yeah, let's go," because it's gonna be, we're gonna be safe. You know what? Jesse Ventura, when he had his show Conspiracy Theories, and he was hearing about these FEMA camps, which that's when it first came to my attention, is that he looked at the way the fences are, and he said, those fences, they're not meant to keep people out. They're meant to keep people in, because the fences,
you're all inward.
Yeah.
The Constantine way were the inside.
Keep them
we're to the inside.
Just to keep them safe.
And in back of that one shed, they had caskets.
You saw that, yeah, dude.
Huh?
All those black things.
Yeah.
Where you could put at least 3 bodies.
Yeah, 3 bodies. And they're cardboard. They're cardboard boxes.
Do you think that they're shipping that to aliens? Those black things.
You never know. You never know.
Dude, I'll tell you, what's so trippy about this video too is
they go underground. It's not even above here. It's like maybe everything's underground, and they had those things up here, and they're gonna go down underground so they can.
Dude, I'll tell you what. You know what the Bible talks about. It talks about that when Jesus comes back, that the kings of the earth, they're gonna hide underground. They're gonna say, "Cover us from the wrath of God and the Lamb."
Yeah, they're already
now. Now, think of it. That was written 2,000 years ago, and what do we have in America? As there is all over the world, you have these underground bases.
Yeah, you got lived underneath ground. There's like a lot of places that they found really old prehistoric places and stuff like that from way back when mankind first started off and stuff like that.
Dude, those underground caves.
Hey, some of those underground bases
for a long time,
are like small cities.
New York's got one.
Dude, they've got Walgreens in them, and somebody said there's a Best Buy in one of them.
I believe it. I believe there's some like other kind of technology you could probably
get. Is it a store?
Because you're actually underground somewhere.
They're actually like if you're above ground, but it's
right. Everything's down there, except no automobile. Everything's run on electric.
Yeah, everything's all different.
Hey,
electric cable.
Bill Snyder said that all of the U.S. is connected by these trains. This train system underground.
Dude, there's this train system. Ocean. I remember a guy I talked to. He was a mucker. He told me he was a mucker. And he said that he went right underneath the ocean and did these big tunnels underneath there. The mucker.
Phil Snyder said that we have technology that where we can, people think that it takes, like months, let's say, to dig a tunnel through a mountain. Phil Snyder said we have technology where we melt the rock, and as it moves, as his device moves forward, it smooths out. It smooths the ID of the hole that's being made.
I'm gonna tell you what, in Shano, they had a lot of these big booms going off and shaking, and people are, what the fuck is that? And then you hear it in different spots on the ground. And they were seeing it with fucking gas, some gas building up and exploding in that, 90. I never heard of
swamp gas.
Yeah, I never heard of anything like that. And when fuck man, I've been like 74 fucking years on this fucking planet and never saw or heard anything like that. They were building fucking tunnels for in case if something happens, they're safe.
All that technology.
The Roswell crash too.
You know, one thing wrong with flying saucers, you don't got a cup there, so you can never drink.
You don't have to wash them.
Hey, think about think about the flying saucer. Think about the saucer photographs that were faked.
Oh yeah,
like this stuff. I'll keep it like kind of like without moving, and we all look at it. Bro, like, oh my god, there's one right there. It's dude, you'd have people that would take for instance, a plate and just throw it in the air and take a quick photograph.
Going down the road, and you see two lights, and it's like on the side like this, and it goes like this every once in a while, you know. And you take a picture of it, it looks like aliens. But what that is, that's the light shining from the other direction, off, you know, shining down on your mirror, hitting it like that, and it makes some little dots in there.
But you did see aliens.
Yeah, I saw aliens for real.
Didn't it be like something you don't?
Have you ever seen a UFO?
An alien.
Yes, I have. But it's not round. It's not square. It doesn't look like you know, like you show on TV. You know, big round circle with a whole bunch of windows in it. No, it's not like that. It was just a two-seater. You know,
the fuck
like
is this a car?
No, this is a.
It was
check this out. They're working on this here in the United States, trying to get that same kind of compulsion out of the back, you know, for the rockets and that. Man, atomic reaction.
They just have to use.
They use that
energy.
That's it, because it never moved. When it took off, it didn't move a branch, it didn't move a leaf, didn't move a piece of glass, and it was sitting hovering above the ground. It wasn't sitting on the ground with wheels.
Sounds like you had a dream.
It was a dream, a hell of a dream.
Was it
no,
wet?
but that's real. You know, but you say stuff like that, and people, you know, they criticize you. You know,
like me,
make you, you know, really. They make you
see that.
You make a, you know, like, wow, I ain't gonna mention that fucking no more. Man. I get too much static out of that, you know. But you're just like we are. You were just like we are. Only thing, they were blonde haired, blue eyes, like complected.
Yeah, that sounds like the Palladians that I told you about.
That could have been.
Look, they're supposed to be like, I don't know how many, but they're supposed to be like the same groups of the. So you got the reptilians, the Palladians, the tall grays, the small grays, and those are like the major ones that people talk about that are in contact with the human race. And the reptilians live underground.
Reptilians, yeah.
The Palladians, they're like kin to us, and the grays, they can't reproduce. So they're abducted, because there's, you know, you hear about those abductions and women saying that they had these babies, and then they're supposed to be like 4 or 5 months pregnant, and then one day the baby's just gone. It's no longer in their belly. You've heard of this?
I've actually seen like some show that they had on there.
So what they do
American
is they
Horror
say
Story had that.
What they say is that it has another thing too. They say that people that have been abducted, they'll say that the extraterrestrials are like, they've taken the children and they're preparing the world for America's the world is going through an evolutionary phase, and it's kind of like they're accelerating it, but there's going to be these children are going to come back, and it's going to be like a utopia.
I heard that time is going faster. The Earth is spinning faster.
Yeah,
than time can keep up.
Time can't keep up. We're spinning so fast. We right now, you know, an hour or 60 minutes is an hour.
Yep.
And right now, an hour is like 56, 57, something like that.
How fast,
yeah, we can't
fast
keep.
Can you run to catch up?
You have to run backwards. Can you run backwards?
Sometimes.
At full speed.
That
like
almost, that reminds me of Superman, when Lois Lane dies and he spins the world around backwards.
Yeah, for time to go.
Yeah, he time travels.
Yeah, time travels that way.
But that's what's happening. That's what really is happening. You know, and we tilted one point some degree.
Turn the opposite way then, because he spans so fast that way and grab the planet.
See, they talk about climate change and that, but the Earth is moving faster, and it tilted
595
0.01 1 or something like that degrees. That's a lot. That's a lot of degrees for a big old fucking earth, rock in the sky, tilting like that. Of course, they're going to have different weathers and different things happening and shit because it tilted.
I heard it was from us.
We dug too much dirt on one off and laid it on the other side. Sit there and dug up too much. Look at that hole that you were digging, eh? And they drilled that hole all the way down there. You heard all the fucking noises and shit. They buried that fucker, eh?
Every time you hear about noises inside there, it's always screaming and shit.
They say that that's supposed to be the deepest.
Yes.
The deepest hole, and that
7 miles and something.
Hold on, and that you're hearing hell.
14 miles.
Hold on, and that you're hearing hell, dude. If you want, I'll look that up right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, man.
That sounds like aliens.
That's the alien shit. That's what's coming out of the ground to make everything bad.
Dude,
Yeah,
those
that's
are
the screams of the people down there being tortured by
Yeah.
the aliens in that underground breakaway civilization.
You don't think
that's all
that's
over the
people
place.
being
Different-
tortured in
different
hell?
civilizations
Yeah, that
for a
is.
long
That's
time
hell.
ago.
That's hell, but
Got all
the
the
aliens
now.
are in control of hell.
Well, then you're talking demonic deception right there.
There we go.
He's been deceived.
I've been deceived. You are evil, boy. Better turn my back and
You just give me a little bit of money, and everything will be
it,
just
it
fine.
would cost everybody donate $250,000 so I can go through that transformation.
In the prison system, you're talking about that transgender stuff.
Yeah,
dude, in the prison system, the taxpayers are paying for
Right.
inmates to have
Yeah.
to be, and then
but they're stopping it. They're stopping doctors even performing that on kids. They can't.
we're talking about people in prison. Though.
Oh,
They're
prison.
doing it with people. They're doing it with people in prison.
They'll get some kids in there soon. They already want.
They
the kids
are,
to
man.
be
I told-
adults. They want the
were you
kids to
here
be
yesterday?
adults. They want the kids to be.
They went to Wall Pond back in the 70s, and then this is in the 90s. They had this one and jumped from the 4th tier, cut her dick off and jumped because they won't give her the operation.
Well, you just said her though.
Yeah, because she wants to be a girl. He did.
The Soviet Union
So
drilled a
you're playing
hole more
It
than
was a
12
he-she.
kilometers deep in Siberia, which shares borders with Norway and Finland. The project to drill into the Earth's surface began in the 1970s, when Soviet scientists wanted to learn more about the Earth's crust. Over 2 decades, they managed to dig more than 7.5 miles down into the Earth. The drill broke through into a cavity, and the scientists lowered some equipment to see what was down there.
Dude, that is so crazy looking at that. It
An
makes me
extremely
sick feeling.
heat-tolerant microphone, along with other sensory equipment, were lowered into the well.
Wow.
The temperature was about 1,100 degrees centigrade, about 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit. But the real shocker was the disturbing sound that was recorded. They only got about 17 seconds of audio before the microphone melted, but it was 17 horrifying seconds of the screams of the damned. The screams of the hell.
That's scary. Dude.
Now that's what
I
they
heard
fucking
people.
really heard.
People. That's good. I heard actually people.
But I heard mostly female screams.
Of the hell.
A lot of female screaming there.
Yeah, there was a lot in that.
Them bitches, man, got born.
It's fucking scary. Dude.
That is
I was
scary.
I was listening to it. I was like, it's scary.
That is
shit.
scary,
So
dude.
that I would have did the same thing right there. I would have buried that motherfucker with some cement on top of it. No one can ever go to that fucker again.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Check
Fuck
this.
that, dude. Now I'm afraid to go to fucking sleep. Thank you. Next fucking week is fucked up. The next days after that's more fucked up. I'm not gonna. Every time it gets dark, I'm gonna be thinking I'm hearing that shit.
How about the Euphrates River?
Oh yeah, hey, yeah, that's another one. That's another bad one.
Oh, yeah, the guy, he put that microphone there to that in between them two rocks, but that was not even that deep. It wasn't even deep or nothing. It was like right there.
Because that was all buried underwater at one point.
Dude, that shit is so weird. Like, it's always like those screens.
But that one there, this drilling thing was a real thing. You know what I mean? It was a real thing.
So what happens if you take a microphone and go all the way up into the sky? It was going to hear laughing. People going to be laughing. Frolicking and laughing.
But center of the earth is hell. And above earth is where everything begins. See,
you want to hear this one?
God is the whole universe. The whole universe. He's the whole universe.
All right.
God is the whole universe. That's how it is.
Dude, that kind of sounded like. That shit said hello, dude. That thing said hello. That shit said hello, dude. Like,
dude, you're gonna be driving. Hey, you're gonna be driving alone. You're gonna be driving alone.
Oh,
you're gonna be like, man, I'm taking 27th Street, man. I'm not taking those side roads.
but is that really real though? You know what I mean? It sounds like it's a guy doing that. You know, so it sounds all fucked up where it doesn't sound like a guy anymore. But then it's probably a prank.
I believe it's real because I believe the person who recorded it fears God, whether he's a Christian or not, whatever he believes in.
Whoever's below us, that's for sure.
That's some scary shit, man.
You know, there's this guy. His name was Henry Groover. He's died now. He's with the Lord. He was a prayer walker, so he would walk all around the world. He went to cities around the world, and he would just walk and he would pray. He would pray like, yeah, you know, I don't know like how he would pray, but he would pray. And he talked about how he had this dream. In his dream, well, he was awake, and he used to hang out with this group, and they would all pray together. He called them, they were like, they're Christian commandos. They were like ex-military Christians, and this guy Henry Groover was with them. Henry Groover said that he was in Rome, and he went down this stairway, and he said how I knew the stairway was from the 2nd or 3rd century. He said was because he said that there was no railing, and he said the older stairways, they didn't have a railing. That wasn't until later on, and the reason that they implemented railings on stairways was so that you could hold the railing with one hand and fight with a sword on the other in the event that you were being overtaken by another military by another force, right? He said that he got down to the bottom, and there was these giant angels, and they were chained, and he was talking to them, and they were like, you're not supposed to be here. They told him, you're not supposed to be here. He said they were huge. They made him look like a grasshopper. All right, here's the thing. He said he don't know what came over him, but he said, I command you in the name of Jesus to release the mantle that Paul had. Talking about the Apostle Paul. And matter of fact, they weren't even chained. They were just there. And then he said, and I bind you in the name of Jesus. And then he said, when he said that, these chains came from the heavens, wrapped these angels up, and took them away. And then he said he woke up, and then he was like, was that a dream? Was that a dream? Well, these guys I told you that he used to hang out with, they called him up and they were like, hey, were we together? And they knew the whole story themselves. And so the thing is, okay, like when I listen to this and I hear about this moaning underground, it talks about in Revelation that there's these 4 angels that are chained under the Euphrates River. Now, the Euphrates River, like when we talked about water declining,
yeah,
Euphrates River came to my mind. I don't know if I mentioned
that's where once it leaves, once the water recedes,
what
that the angels come out from out of the earth.
well,
there.
that's what people that's the Christian belief, and the water has receded drastically. I mean, like let's say where we're at right now would be like the water level of a normal Euphrates, and then let's say we were to go downstairs, right? Like, and then that's the water level now. Like, it's gone. So much of it's gone. They're saying that like in maybe 10 more years it'll be completely dry.
Yeah, that sounds pretty scary because man, just think if they took 2 blue pills and 1 yellow pill, we'd be really fucked.
What a big boner.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. We'll be fucked because
look,
they ain't gonna allow us to fucking just sit there.
Okay, just food for thought. You guys can agree that we are heading into a cashless society.
Yes.
Now, if we're a cashless society, now you look at the vaccines, for instance, they're talking about what if you don't get a vaccine? And then they're like, remember at first with the whole pandemic, they were like, well, you can shop. They wouldn't let you go in a place if you had a mask on, right? And then they were talking about you couldn't go to a restaurant without having a proof that you were vaccinated, right? Those are all, to me, and the other people would believe this too, that are Christians, that's precursors for the mark. And so what's going to happen is
get you conditioned to accept having a mark so that you could,
you can't. So now think about what if the vaccine card and the social credit score got to the point where it's like, well, what if it is at the point where when it's implemented that, because I believe it's going to come to America, but it does. And then it's like, okay, you can't buy or sell without having a vaccine card or without having some, you know what I mean? It's like, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you right now,
what?
That one lady, facial recognition is part of this world order. This lady went in to a Girl Scout with her daughter to a Girl Scout thing that had, a little dance outfit that they had there. And she's sitting there and her name came over the intercounter talking about the lady with the brown scarf and the hat on it, and then mention her fucking name. We just stepped to the back door. She went there and they kicked her out because she was suing somebody. I don't get it, man. How can they tell somebody you can't be with your daughter to watch a Girl Scout thing?
That facial recognition stuff, it's so highly advanced that if you had a warrant and you're walking around Wall Street,
yeah,
they can pick you out of a crowd.
Yeah,
and the cops come and arrest you. Matter of fact, but even when it comes to technology and let's say handwriting, let's say you write a note to the president, you're like, I'm going to kill you and all this stuff. And I'm not recommending that, people, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just saying, people. Well, if you did that, they have software where recorded handwriting is all collected.
Yeah.
And guess what? They can root out like they'd be like, 60 people. Okay, now where was this mailed from? And then whoever's like the 2 people, let's say there's 2 people in that vicinity, dude, they can get you with that handwriting. But like that facial recognition stuff, that's everywhere, dude. Like, so
does
like
that technology come from the aliens too?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that's part of it.
Now I'll say this though,
nothing.
And they don't got money.
How about Pong?
They don't got money.
Did we come up with Pong? Is that just our stuff?
They're trying to make, they're trying to make it. Here's what they're trying to do. They're trying to make it that everybody on a social credit, everybody that has a high score gets to do this in your section, and that's all you can do now is that. And then whenever you got another one, and that, a medium score, you're over here. You're over here. You're over here.
Social points.
Yeah, because you don't got enough. And then you got the lower one. Then you got the lower social
Way down at the
credits.
bottom,
That's
page
done,
per
and
person.
they're the ones that are out there in the factories busting their ass off for what? Social credits, not money. You don't get money. You get a credit.
That's happening in China.
That's happening in China. Yes, that's happening in
That's-
China right now,
dude.
and that's going to happen here because of all the shit that's going down. And then if you ain't got no social credit, you're nothing. You ain't nothing. You got no money. No credit to get anything. You can't rent, you can't buy, you can't live here. There's no place for you to live. So somebody has to take you in.
So
And that's how it works.
So the mark of the beast is social credit.
Yeah.
Could be. I'll tell you what if
Because it's invisible, intangible.
okay, what if it came to, let's say tomorrow you wake up and they say, look, you can't buy or sell without this social credit. Would you guys, or let's say they said you can't buy or sell without having this RFID device under your skin? Would you take it?
No. I tell you right now, if that ever happened, there will be no place for you to go. You could never cross into another border to escape anything, to go to another border, to escape again into another. You'll never be able to do it. You couldn't even cross the border because right away that camera's on you. That camera's on you all the time. Like I said, up in the sky, way up there, miles up in the sky. They got this thing on this camera that can pinpoint you, one person, right to the root of their hair. You know, and that's real shit, man. I mean, we're headed that way. I say before the end of 2023, maybe 2024, we're going to be starting that really. You know, where you got to have so many credits to get here, so many credits to get there.
Well,
You know?
I'll tell you what, guys. What was that? Oh, he said go to commercial.
Yeah. But yeah, that social credit is really scary.
Well, I bet it is, and I hope that I don't have anything to do with it.
And to make the donuts, Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh.
Oh, by the way, here's a classic commercial.
And to make the donuts, Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh. I made the donuts. We make them at least twice every day. And to make the donuts. Not a few kinds, like supermarket made the donuts. Time to make the donuts. But up to 52 varieties. The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts, up to 52 varieties, fresh day and night. No supermarket can say that.
Domino's Pizza delivers quality. It takes fresh baked quality to avoid the noise. We keep the noise out and all the quality in. So avoid the noise. Call Domino's Pizza now for hot quality pizza. Domino's Pizza delivers.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna wrap this segment up. I'm getting tired myself. It's getting late at night already, man. So, having said that, this is Rich.
This is Mike.
This is Ken.
And we are signing off.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, I liked it. I really did. This was a good one. Because, we all had, had some serious